way my painting career started is I tried doing columns on canvas. Columns are these floor paintings that we do in South India mostly, using rice flour outside the house every day in the morning. But it's a very temporary art form. And when I was trying to do them on canvas with brushes and acrylic paint, just to remind you, I have no background in art. I hadn't played with anything seriously ever before. So when I tried that, it didn't work out the way I wanted to. So then I combined another temporary art form of henna, which is a plant, and we use the dye from its leaves to do temporary tattoos that stains hands. So then I wanted a thicker acrylic on the canvas, so I put them in a piping bag and started squeezing them out to create these columns. I don't do a lot of column paintings anymore, but my work has evolved into using these henna style techniques to create more elaborate mandalas, which are again another temporary art form. So it's like I take all these ephemeral art forms and create permanent art. I think that's the part of my creativity, right? What you're talking about, that the randomness of my intuitive process versus the mathematical constructs in these mandala paintings. I guess somewhere within me they merge. And when people ask about it to me at art fairs, I say it's magic, because I do not have a good answer on how to explain this. And a lot of people also ask me if I do henna. It's interesting because I've done henna as a kid. I mean, everybody in India gets to play with it one time or the other, or at least most women do. And I have not done henna for a long time. I've played with kolam outside homes, yes, but and henna is very intuitive too. I mean, the designs and design books and stuff like that, and even for columns, there's all these books that you can buy for the designs. But when you actually sit and do henna on someone, you know, you take your artistic vision and create something new. And I think you're building on something, but that's, I would call, you know, the knowledge that's been passed on generations on some of these things that I incorporate in my work, but I don't really think about them in that way when I'm painting. So when I'm creating mandalas, mandalas are generally meditative in nature. We are talking about concentric circles with repetitive patterns. So once you start looking at one point in the mandala, your brain starts going in circles, right, and looking at the entire thing, but you go from one circle to the other, and you're moving through those circles, literally, and that basically, then your focus gets onto the mandala and not with other 200 things that you're thinking about. So they are very common in nature. Some people call it that they have some energy on their own, but in general, anything that you're doing again and again and again is going to make you calm. And that's the case with me when I'm painting. It's very meditative, it's healing in nature, because I'm not thinking about, I can't afford to think about anything else, because if I make mistakes, they're going to stay in the painting. And the goal is to not make mistakes, right? And so when I'm working, my focus is entirely on what I'm creating. I don't take phone calls, I don't, you know, I can't even listen to music, because then my brain goes to music. I watch Netflix. I mean, I call it watching, but I just run Netflix on TV nonstop so I can focus on the painting with some white noise in the background. And people always tell me I have a steady hand when I'm creating. It's hard to correct them when I am right there, like, you know, talking about my work. But it's not about the steadiness of my hand. It basically comes down to the steadiness of my breathing. So when I control the breathing is what controls the movement of my hand and what comes out on the canvas. So as I am controlling my breathing, that's basically meditation. And it's interesting, so when people look at my work, again, they have this, you know, their brain goes towards the circles, they're looking at the center of the circle and going inward or outward, and that's a calming thing. And it's not like I expect people to use mandalas as meditation. When I create my work, I call them decorative artwork. I'm not saying they have a purpose. but it's up to the person who takes it home to ascribe a meaning. If they want it to be a meditative piece, then that's great. And some people hang my mandalas in their yoga room or meditation room, and some hang it in their bedroom and dining room and, above the couch. So it's